Podcast. This is a living book where life unfolds chapter by chapter through powerful conversations, personal stories, faith, healing, reflection, and transformation. Each week, Pam reads a new chapter out loud in real time, allowing viewers to experience the emotions with her as the story comes to life through raw truth, vulnerability, and heartfelt reaction. Hosted by author and speaker Pam Renna, this is a space where victories are celebrated, hardships are faced honestly, and faith becomes the thread that carries us forward. With special guests, live studio audience conversations, interactive Q&A discussions, and heartfelt moments, viewers don't just listen to the story, they experience it alongside her. And her hope and prayer is that somewhere within these pages, you find a piece of yourself, something that speaks to your heart, strengthens your faith, and reminds you that your story still matters. And now, here's your host, Pam Renna.
Hey everyone, welcome in. How you doing today? How's everybody doing? Hey, how are you? So today we enter into Act 2, a living book, Chapter 5, The Letter in the Mailbox. I'll read, then open up to chapter for Q&A. This isn't just a book, it's a living conversation. It's for me and all of you. We'll share, reflect, and grow together. Okay, but before I begin, I want to say a special thank you to Lauren at Altair Graphic Design, Inc. and Trent, the amazing YouTuber behind YT Trent, for their incredible creative vision and design eye for bringing the branding of Pam Renna Live to life. I worked with Lauren for many years and have never been disappointed. If you're looking for a new design, you won't be disappointed with her. I just said that, didn't I just say that?
You did.
I just did.
It's okay. It's okay.
This is worth saying thank you. You're right. But she did it. She did this in a different direction for me, and it's been amazing. So I highly recommend both of them. That you share their vision, they bring it to life, and get amazing results. So thank you for that. And also I want to say congratulations to Josie. She's officially a cosmetologist. Thank you. Way to go, Josie. So proud of her and for all the hard work. I can't wait to see you keep shining and doing your thing. So let's go on to reading chapter 5. The reason why I'm stuttering is because this chapter is when I read it, you'll see my throat chakra is getting all choked up, for lack of a better word. So let's begin. Now that Sam and I were settled into our new apartment, this became our reset, the next chapter. At that point, we're running a flower business out of our apartment. The apartment doubled as our workspace. We needed to make money fast, and we needed to figure out how to build everything again from nothing. Violet came over, and the three of us sat around the table, papers spread out between us, and started putting a plan together piece by piece. The first decision came easily. We would sell both vans. When deliveries came up, we'd hire someone with a van. It would take some of the pressure off insurance, car payments, salaries, and costs that had been weighing on us for far too long. It was a big shift, but it made sense. And with that, we would save. We could bring a salesperson, someone focused on building the business back up. There was a quiet sense of clarity in that moment, like things were starting to line up in a way they haven't in a long time. Sam took care of selling the vans. I focused on finding the right person to help grow the business. And Violet, thank God for her. She stepped in and began sorting through what had been left behind. Kathy had been working remotely, coming into the office once or twice a week. She managed all the monthly client billing, and Violet was her point person. After the storm, when everything felt like it had been stripped away, knowing she had all the files on her computer felt like a win. We were able to recover client information we thought we had lost, especially since Violet and Sam's computer were affected in that moment. In the storm, in that moment, it felt like something had finally gone our way. But as Violet started going through everything, really getting into it, things didn't look right. Bills haven't been sent out. Some clients were 3 months behind. Some haven't been billed at all. And just like that, it clicked. All the stress around money, that feeling that something was always off. It wasn't just a storm. Yes, we had lost clients, but this had been building for a while. And we didn't even know it. That part was hard to take in because it didn't line up with who I knew her to be. She liked her job. We gave her flexibility. time off whenever she needed it. There was no pressure. There was trust. We used to sit with Kathy. I used to sit with Kathy once a week. We'd work side by side, laughing, talking, sometimes even singing. She had great energy. It kind of reminded me of you and me, Cindy. We were in the salt room together. That was her and I, the way we interact and just laugh. I genuinely liked her. So seeing all of this, it didn't just feel like a business problem. It felt personal. Later, we found out she had a lot going on in her life, family issues, things pulling her in a different direction. And so much as much as that helped explain it, it didn't change what we were left with to fix. Not sure why she reached out to me years later. It was nice to hear from her. For a moment, I missed her, the good times we had together, the ease of it. But our friendship didn't have a future. After everything that had happened, we couldn't go back there. The trust was gone. After that, it was time to deal with everything else. Vendors, former employees, the constant pressure. It felt like everyone wanted something from us at the same time, and it wasn't letting up. So we moved forward finding an attorney, Mr. Peter James, LLC. Seemed solid enough. We made an appointment. His office was on 30 Wall Street, 14th floor. We sat in his conference room and went through bankruptcy, step by step. He explained everything in a way that finally made it feel organized, like there was a path, find direction. Then he said that the fee, $13,500. We just looked at each other. Remember, Eve?
Yes.
No words, just hung there heavy, like neither of us could reach for it. I told him the truth, plain and simple. We didn't have it. Then I explained everything, the storm we just had gone through, the losses, the way we're still trying to piece things back together, still trying to breathe through the aftermath. In saying it all out loud, something shifted. He didn't shut us down. He didn't treat us like another file on his desk, another case to close. He just paused, like he was actually hearing us. And then he offered something we weren't expecting, a payment plan. Imagine that. What attorney give you a payment plan? Something we could manage week by week. Who would do that? Right?
You did.
He did. I still don't fully know how to explain that moment. I just know it felt like something bigger than us stepping in. Like the door didn't slam shut when it easily could have. This is positive, keep the faith, sitting right in front of us. Power acquire abundance, a gift only God could give. God planted that seed in Peter's head. There's no other explanation. As we finished up the meeting, we couldn't wait to get outside so we could talk it over with each other. When we got into the lobby, we hugged, laughed, and stood there for a moment, taking it all in. Something that finally felt possible. Violet had to head out, and Sam and I made our way back to the apartment. Ever since we moved in the new apartment, things started to go our way. That day stood out as a turning point. For the first time in a long time, it didn't feel just hope. It didn't just feel hopeful. It felt like we were moving forward again, like this could actually be our new normal. Until I checked the mailbox. There was a letter addressed to me, not Sam, me. It was a regular envelope, but bulky, overstuffed, edges pushing out, barely even closed. I mean, it was so big. It was just not normal. Like it had too much to say and nowhere else to put it. The kind you don't just open, you pause, maybe even look around for a second and think, am I ready for this? Seeing the return address, Sadie Holmes. My heart right now is going boom, 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 boom. Hit me before I even had time to think. Just her name was enough. Anger came up. Quickly, not loud, but sharp. And I could feel my chest tighten as the blood rushed to my head. I can still feel it now. Anxiety followed right behind it, settling in quietly but fully there. I just stood there for a moment, holding it, staring at the envelope, trying to make sense of this feeling it brought up without feeling fully giving into it. Sadie was a reverend and an intuitive medium. At that time, Sam and I were very close to her. We brought her into our lives, dinners, weekends at our house in Pennsylvania. She was around us all the time, even with my family. We helped her when she needed things. When she wanted a new television, we bought her a 36-inch TV, Before that, she's been watching TV on a 13-inch. She wanted the same custom-made chair we had in our living room back in Pennsylvania, so we bought her one of those too. Whenever she needed, we gave her. We were friends, more like family. And that's what you do for people you love. You help where you can, or so I thought. We didn't keep score. This is just how it was. She was always grateful for everything we did for her. And she often said she wanted to give something back, to be part of what we were building, not just on the receiving end of it. That's really where this came from. At one point, she gave us a $10,000 check for the cafe. She said she wanted to invest, be part of it. We didn't even want to take it at first. We went back and forth. In the end, we agreed, but only as a loan, not a gift. We set it up that way because we knew her situation. When the storm hit, payment stopped. Everything stopped. Now the letter. I got to chill. Dun, dun, dun. I can laugh now, but then I opened the letter not knowing what to expect. I thought it might be final words, maybe closure, maybe something neutral, something I put down and move on from. It was nothing like that. It was a letter that didn't end things. It escalated them. Sadie had a friend who was a lawyer draft a letter on her behalf, stating that she intended to sue me for the money. The first page made it clear she was taking legal action, but it was the next pages that hit harder. Reading it made me feel ill, not angry, not disbelief, just ill. Like I had just been handed something I couldn't unsee, written about me as if I wasn't even human. It wasn't just legal talk, it was personal. What she wrote wasn't just anger, it was cruel, ugly. Words I didn't expect from someone who called themselves a woman of God. I got a chill again. Whew. She called me a horrible person, said I had a black heart, an ugly heart. She wrote that she had done things she described as spiritual practices, though that didn't sit right with me. Spiritual, at least how I understand it, isn't meant to be used that way, not to harm, not to control, not to wish misfortune on anyone. Still, she claimed these things were meant to ensure I would never succeed again, that I would be stuck, that everything I touched going forward would fail. She said so much more. To be honest, I believe I blocked it out. I never saved that letter. I burned it. By burning the letter, I felt something in me finally release. Cathartic in a way. I can't fully explain. I have such chills. Woo. I love this. This is the angels. I felt like I was stripping away everything she attached to me, her words, her energy, her intention, and giving it back to the fire. It was symbolic, like I was watching the hurt break down in real time as it turned to ash. I remember showing a letter to my mom and my sister Sophie. The first thing they both said was the same. Why is this only about you? Why is she only coming after you? Sam isn't even mentioned. The money was given to both of you. I've always been more outspoken than Sam. When something bothers me, I say it. Not that Sam doesn't speak up. She just handles things differently than I do. Quieter, in her own way. I remember, she's laughing. I remember once putting Sadie in her place. We were out, and she started speaking badly about some of my friends, telling me I couldn't trust them, they were using me, that I shouldn't be around them at all. I felt controlling, like she was trying to pull me away from people I cared about. There was jealousy in that, like she believed she could come between us and end those relationships. She even tried at times to come between Sam and I. Remember that, Eve? Yes. Singing it, we were singing on the hot tub. She tried trying to put it against each other. It was crazy. Somewhere along the way, she began expecting things from us, as if it was our responsibility to carry her, to take care of her, not out of love or gratitude, but obligation. When I finally called her out on it and told her how I felt from my side, she didn't respond with reflection or regret. She didn't see it, or she refused to. There was no apology, not even a hint that she thought anything had been wrong. After that, I started questioning myself. I had caused how everything unfolded. Speaking up had made me the problem. As if being honest, being direct, being me, was what put me in that position. As if I had invited it by not staying silent. And that's what stayed with me. It was heartbreaking to feel like that I was being attacked again. First the employees at the cafe, then the flower shop, and now Sadie. Sam was never the one being targeted. It always came back to me. I found myself slipping back into self-hate. I hated myself again, wondering why I was always the one people picked on and singled out. It's been that way since I was a child. I was already dealing with issues with Sam's family over money from the cafe as well. I don't want to go too deep into that out of respect for Sam and for our children, Jason and John. I know they're technically my stepchildren, but I never believe in labels. Love is love. I've been in their lives for 25 years, and my daughter-in-law is Ava, Jason's wife, and Charlotte, John's wife, and their 3 beautiful babies, chills, Noah, Phoenix, and Willow. Gigi loves you. I love them all far too much to ever cause them pain. I don't speak or see her family. When we do cross paths, which isn't often, we are respectful of one another. Just the other day, Sam was on the phone with one of her brothers, and I heard his voice. It brought tears to my eyes. It's sad because we used to have such amazing times together. I learned that people don't really change in their core. You evolve, but your character is your character. But unfortunately, when you're driven by fear instead of faith, you do and say things you can't take back. I've healed and forgiven her family. I'm sure I've said and done things to hurt them too. But I would never intentionally push someone down who's already down. That's what stays with you. It was painful, but I had to leave that part of my life in the past as well. Because after all these years since the storm, I can see they haven't really moved forward. And I've refused to spend my time, the life I have here, with people I no longer trust with my heart or feelings. I pray for their spiritual growth. I truly hope they all have a happy life. I would never wish harm on anyone. I believe in karma. I believe what you put out into the world always finds its way back to you in time. Still, this situation had me questioning God again. Why is this happening only to me? I would never intentionally hurt someone with those kinds of words that were thrown at me. I would never push someone further down when they've already been struggling. I consider myself a good person, a giving person. I would have done anything for someone I love. My mother's words still echo. Shut your wallet, worry about yourself. Thank you, Mom. I knew I had to trust God. This is a lesson I had to go through. I had to trust the path, find direction God was guiding me on. This was my journey. Sam's was different, even though our lives were so intertwined. Maybe the lesson was to guard my heart more, to listen to my gut, to trust myself, to trust what I was feeling, and to worry less about what others might think. In time, though these lessons, I've learned to love, accept, and forgive myself. And to know that as long as I can be the best version of me, do unto others I would want done to me, and to surround myself with true, honest, loving people, then I'm living the best life. I got such chills. Spiritual people are meant to act with kindness and good intentions, not harm. I heard Sadie no longer felt connected to her intuitive gifts. I believe gifts like that come from God. And hearing that gave me a sense of peace, like things were being realigned in a way that reflected how those gifts should be used. Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to him, and he will make your path straight. I know I really messed up a lot in this chapter, but there's a lot of feeling that goes behind, being with someone that you love that could say these words to you, that could truly, you can hang on to these words and they can hurt you deeply, and you can believe them if you choose to believe what they say. Because here's someone that's a person of God, that's a reverend. So if you're thinking, wow, if this is a person of God can say this about you, is it true? Right. So at least I had a better sense of me, who I am, and knew that wasn't true. But I have 2 questions that I wrote for this chapter for everyone to think about. Unless you want to answer it now, it's up to you. Have you ever realized that losing something was actually the beginning of a new chapter? That's one. When life forces you to start over, do you see it as an ending or an opportunity to rebuild it differently? So if anybody has any questions or...
Pam, we have somebody from Dana from Boston who'd like to know,
Hi, Dana from Boston. Thank you.
why did they only sue you?
That's a very good question, Dana. And you know what? I think, Eve, you should answer that one. Go ahead, Eve. What a good question. Dana, I need to have you on my
I
show.
think my relationship with Sadie was very different than the relationship you had.
That's true.
Very true.
That's true.
I was more accommodating to her.
True.
She didn't bother me in any way. And I felt that her, I don't want to call them demands, but her needs or her wants annoyed you.
I just think I think I just spoke up more than you did. I think you're more tolerant than I
Yes.
was. Yeah.
They,
Which is nothing wrong with that. I mean, we're just two different people.
Right. It just didn't, she didn't affect me that way.
That's why she wanted to sue me and she tried to, crush me.
Yeah.
Oh, you have a question? Go ahead, Cindy.
So, will you be elaborating on how that and what happened with that? Did she win, or did she sue you?
Oh no, my attorney, the bankruptcy attorney, actually had to. She would be in contempt of court if she would have continued with the letter. So my attorney actually sent her a letter. She was thrown into bankruptcy. So you're not supposed to contact anyone, and she did after the fact.
Okay.
So he gave her a letter that she'll be in contempt of court if she was to come after me again.
Good
Yeah.
lawyer.
The attorney did. Yeah, you're not supposed to. Yeah,
Sadie.
Yeah,
Sadie. Yeah.
that's true. I should have known that.
Yes, you can't contact
You can't,
anyone.
you're
No. Yeah.
That was interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just, like I said, I read this chapter, I edited it. And when you read it out loud and to actually go on and share it with everyone, it's a lot harder to do that than when you're by yourself.
We also have another question. They want to
Sure.
know what advice can you give your readers at this point about going through something like this? What got you through it? What advice could you give to your readers and your watchers and your subscribers now?
My faith got me through this. My family and my support system, my friends got me through this. But I have to say that if I would have believed what she said to me, then I probably wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be here today. So I have to really say my faith really got me through it. And my family and friends that love me, that truly love me, is what I would attribute that to for sure.
You made comments. Why me? Why me? All those things that you've gone through have made you stronger and who you are today.
My mother would say, well, why does Pamela keep getting, like jobs and stuff? My father said she's getting stronger and stronger with each lesson. It's not a mistake, or each, even when I was a child and I'd get picked on. I'm like, why are they picking on me? What did I do? I get tougher skin, and I did.
And your past episodes, your live shows have gotten better and better.
Oh, thank you for that. So that's my whole thing here is to help others. To help, is there someone out there that's going through what I went through? And I want to help you. That you could do that. As long as you, like I chill, as long as you believe in yourself. Let nobody tell you differently. You know who you are. You stay strong in who you are. Don't change for anyone. You want to speak up about what you believe in, you speak your truth. End of the day. Don't hurt anyone. Obviously, intentionally don't hurt anyone. If you do, you apologize for you own up to it, but don't change for anybody. It's not worth it, But any questions? Anybody have any comments, or should we move on to our special guest I'm so excited to have on today?
We should move on.
We should move on. We'll be right back.
Page turners, it's time to turn the page. Up next.
Today, pronounce your last name again.
Nasowitz.
Cindy Naswitz is a warm, creative person who values family, meaningful connections, and making life feel beautiful and welcoming. She has a thoughtful eye for style, enjoys creating comfort, whether through home decor, caring for loved ones, or little details that make people feel special. Come on, Cindy, on and join us. Hi. How are you, Cindy?
Oh my God, please let me just say one thing. Your book is amazing.
Oh, thank you.
I met Pam, like 3 years ago?
It's a storeroom, yes.
Yeah.
3 years ago.
And I've kind of heard some of your story, but I never heard it like this. And when I first came and sat for the first chapter, I was in awe. And I think I said it like, you're an amazing writer.
Thank
You really are.
You're an avid reader, so that
I
really means so
really
much to
do.
me. It really does.
It's so
Thank
good.
you.
It's so good. And it just like,
It feels good to hear that.
no,
Thank
I'm
you.
serious.
Thank you.
You know,
I agree with
I'm
that.
sorry you went
Thank
through
you.
that, but what an amazing story.
Thank you. Well, again, like you said before, you go through these hard times to build character and build who I am today.
It is. Makes you
Yeah.
tougher, makes you stronger, and
Makes you write a book.
makes you write a book and do a
Or two.
podcast.
And a podcast. But I'm so glad you came on. I mean, I want you to tell your story. You know, you've gone from being an IRS agent for 33 years. Can you imagine that? 33 years she was on IRS.
I never thought I'd be there that long. I really, honestly, I went there just to get out of the house for a couple of hours because
So-
I had little kids.
What kept you there for 33 years then?
They kind of suck in.
Then
They suck in.
you get stuck.
No, because they honestly, a government job, you get health insurance, you get a pension.
So all the benefits are
they have a
there.
lot of benefits. And it was a perfect job for me as I had little kids. So I was like seasonal, part-time for 13 years, you know, while my kids were growing up, and I was home with them, and it really was perfect. And then as they got older, I went full-time, and then next thing you know, I'm there for 25 years, and I gotta stay there a few more years to retire. And it was worth it.
Yeah, but didn't
It
you
was
say
worth it.
that, you know, speaking to the people, because you're calling people about money that's owed, and it's a slippery slope because you don't know how that person's going to react. And didn't you say you met some really incredible people
Well,
that
you know
you
what it
spoke
is?
to,
The
and
thing is, you have to treat people like humans.
like human beings, right?
Just because I'm a collector of money doesn't mean I have to be mean. And people would always say to me, "Why are you so nice?" And I would kid around with them and say, "Well, you don't owe me money." But, you know, and I would help them and guide them to hopefully the right path, you know, to.
So that must have made you feel really good, though. You're helping
Honestly,
people.
I like my job.
Yeah.
I liked helping people. I liked talking to people. But it was just time to retire.
Well, that's how you and I became friends.
Yeah.
So Cindy came into the salt room a year later. We were open for a year in a wellness center. And we just started talking with one another. And then you were picking our brains.
Yes, and I forgot what I was picking your brain about.
Oh, about the infrared sauna and how the salt works.
Yeah,
And
because my thing was, I know I wanted the sauna so bad. I wanted the sauna so bad. And I kept driving past the place saying, I'm going to stop in. I'm going to stop in.
Right.
And I didn't until that one day.
that one very special day.
Yeah.
And I said, wait a minute, before you were leaving. I said, before you leave, I said, I'm going to pick your brain.
I think I said
you
I
mentioned the
retired.
IRS. Yes. And I said, I've got a question for you. So then we discussed what our issue was,
Yes.
dating back to the Superstorm
Yes.
Sandy and our situation. So that was great. And that's how we
We connected.
connected and we formed a bond
Yeah.
that's been ongoing since.
Like, how many years now? 3?
Almost
Almost
four.
four?
Almost 4.
Yeah.
And then, so Cindy, tell everybody. So you retired. So then you went working as a server and a funeral home and cleaning homes. So she's like does everything.
I just like to be busy.
Okay.
And so, but I've been doing serving, private parties and everything for like 20 years. But I loved it. I loved doing it. And I love working at the funeral home, even though people might say, well, how could you work there? And, you know, they don't understand why I love it. But I meet amazing families. I am like a shoulder to cry on.
You're a very
I'm
compassionate
somebody to talk
person.
to when somebody needs it. And I made a comment to a woman one day that she didn't want to leave her husband who had passed. And I said, don't worry, I'm going to make him comfortable. I'm going to put him to bed, lower the lights.
Aw.
And she called my boss and
Is
was
there
like,
words to say?
she was like, oh my God, that just made me feel so much better when I went home. I didn't realize how that was going to affect you, but it was
Right.
just came from my heart. It's just something that came out.
You spoke from your heart, what you
yeah,
do. You're such a good
But I
person.
love that job.
The one thing I love about Cindy is you'll never hear her speak really anything negative from you. And if somebody starts, I know it's like in groups, and someone starts talking something about negative situation or someone, you'll cut it in a nice way, which is not good. Who wants to talk? Who wants to
Unless it's
gossip?
with my kids, I'm like, stop.
Like,
Stop doing that.
Who wants to gossip about it? It's boring.
Sometimes it just hurts me to hear people talking so bad about other people. Yeah.
So no,
You know, especially if it's my kids and you know, like, I just don't like it.
yeah.
You know, and if you love that person and somebody starts talking about them bad, and like,
Oh, it's like a knife.
don't do
A
that.
knife. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. That's bad energy.
Yeah, you're
Bad
bringing that
energy.
bad energy to you.
Right.
Why?
What
I
for?
don't understand it.
No.
Yeah.
So
Stop.
tell some really great stories about your serving. I know you serve for
Well,
like
Pam has served with me.
I loved it. Oh, I love serving. It's so much fun.
I sent her out on her own, and
Yes.
she fell.
I felt I twisted my ankle.
But it's fun, isn't it?
It is fun. Yeah, we worked in Southampton, and some of these homes
Did a
are
big
gorgeous.
wedding.
Big wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're fun.
a lot of fun.
Because it's like a party every weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. But the funny is that what we're trying to say is that, when you're down, you always came to my rescue. You gave me jobs and I needed the money. We closed a wellness center. You're like, Pam, I said, Cindy, if you need any help, you always help me out. You always gave me a job when I needed a job, and you believed in me. And if I was having a bad day, you're like, what's the matter? Come here, give me a hug. Come here. Would you say gabagoo? I go, what is gabagoo? And I'm Italian. I'm like, what is gabagoo? And I'm Italian. Like, what is that? So
A lot of meat.
So that's I just really appreciate that, and that's what it's about. It's about people that you surround
Just
yourself
smile on
with.
somebody's face.
Yeah.
That's- I don't know.
So do you find it too? That you think that you attribute to with the love of your family you have and your friends to your faith?
A lot of people will say, "Oh, you're so lucky." I'm not lucky. I'm blessed.
That's right.
I'm very blessed, and I'm grateful.
Yeah.
For my family, my home, my life, and I just try to make it the best I can.
And you really do.
You know?
You appreciate
I appreciate.
You appreciate everything.
every minute.
You take nothing for granted.
No.
Nothing. You really don't.
I've worked hard for where I am and what I have and my kids, and
Yeah.
I put all my effort into that, and it's just my life.
And you're humble. You're a humble person. You are. But she is lucky. I'll tell you something right now. You and Jimmy will. They win at
Well, Jimmy's lucky. I'm a loser.
you're not a loser. Lotto tickets and Jake's.
No, Jimmy's more lucky than I am.
But explain what Jake's is. The Jake's is
Jake's
a
is a casino.
casino.
on Long Island.
He
Yeah.
wins every time.
Yeah.
every
He always
time.
wins.
He has good. You have good karma, and you're always there to help out. Like you're always there to help the person in need. Like when we had a problem when Stevie died, right? I called you immediately. Please get there for Eve, and because I was at the wellness center,
Yes.
and you were right
Yes.
there. I mean, that's what
I'm glad I
it's
could be there.
about.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
It's just-
It's who you're surrounded. When you come here and you support me, and it's.
And I'm glad I came here.
Me too.
Yeah.
I love it.
The energy here, I just love it.
Yeah, I think it's
Thank
love.
you for having me
Of
today.
course. I'm so glad you came in today. Does anybody have questions for Cindy Lou? Should we explain what Cindy Lou's all about?
Yeah. Oh, and one of our parties that we did, they asked
Oh.
her. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Cindy.
So
Sorry.
I was in a pinch at the last minute, and I called Pam and I said, "Can you fill in for me at this shiva?" So,
Yeah, my first shiva.
but I said, "You have to be me." So she had to be Cindy the whole time she was there.
So I'm in the kitchen, and I'm just doing things, and I hear Cindy, and I'm just doing my thing. Cindy, I'm like, oh, I'm Cindy. I'm like, yes. So I keep reminding myself that I'm Cindy. So at the end of the night, like, oh, Cindy, you did such a great job. Can I have your number? I said, sure. So, and what's your last name? I'm like, Cindy Lulu. because I call her Cindy Lulu. I couldn't think of a last name. So they're looking at me like, Cindy Lulu? I'm like, yep. I was like, I came to get her in the car and to call Cindy. She was like, you said what? I said, Cindy Lulu? Hence, did I ever get a phone call? No, I never did.
Oh, you know,
No, I never did.
I wonder why.
And I did a great job.
Dr. Seuss, no, what was it? Oh, the Grinch.
No, the Grinch.
The Grinch is gonna come. Oh my God.
Oh,
Cindy Lou Who was only 2.
That's right.
Listen, my email is CindyLou42.
That's right.
Well, listen, I don't know what we have here is for you, Cindy, but Lana,
Hi, Lana. We miss you tonight.
Lana.
she said rebuild differently.
Oh, from your
Oh, from my
From your-
question.
Right.
the question.
Okay, when life forces you to start over, do you see it as good, up and up to, or rebuild differently? Okay, do you want to elaborate on that, Lana, for everybody that's listening? Rebuild differently. That's good.
Rebuild
Well,
differently.
you've done that,
Mm-hmm.
right?
It's like reinventing yourself.
Because you
Mhm.
did the wellness center, and now you're rebuilding here
Mm-hmm.
differently.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like I had the horticultural company, and then I had a restaurant, which is like totally two different
think
careers.
think about all that.
A lot
and
of times
then-
when you give advice, it's also from personal experience. So anything like we're getting through Texas could also be from their own personal experience.
Usually it is.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when things happen in your life, you give advice because you've been through it.
Right.
You've been through. How could you give someone advice if you haven't gone through?
Right.
If your life is all unicorns and rainbows, how could you give someone advice if you haven't gone through hardship? If you haven't gone through,
And
You know,
I don't
heartache
believe
like that.
Everybody's life is, rainbows and
Oh,
unicorns.
everybody has something.
Yeah,
But others
but
have-
people put up that, that want
Defense.
you to think that,
Right.
and behind, they.
Well, some people are very private.
Yeah, and that's okay.
And that's
No,
okay. They don't want to voice it, or or some people haven't gone through their, or maybe they won't. Everyone's life is different. Everyone's road, everyone's path is different.
Right.
It's all different. It's everyone's, journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in retrospect, I wouldn't change my life only because where it's brought me to today,
Yeah.
and where I'm going,
Everything
and where I'm
you've gone
going
through.
to. I know where I'm going to be. The next level that I'm
This
going
is the
to.
path you're supposed to be going through. You're supposed to,
Yeah, it's like wee.
Yeah, woo.
Woo. Did Lana answer?
No, not yet.
Okay. All right.
No, she didn't.
Any questions for Cindy Lulu? Anyone?
Oh, by the way, my husband's name is Jimmy Woo.
Jimmy Will.
We call him Jimmy Woo and Cindy
No,
Lou.
where did that come from? Do we know?
I don't know.
You
just-
you created that.
No,
Didn't you
I
create
think
that?
I created
Um,
that Jimmy Woo
You did, yeah.
because we called you Cindy Lou.
Yeah.
I said, oh, how
Just
about
came out of nowhere, Jimmy.
And he just came in one day, and all of a sudden, this guy standing in front of us, he goes, "Hi, I'm Jimmy Woo." I'm like, Jimmy.
That's so funny because he came in. I think didn't he bring my pocketbook or
He came for
something?
something.
I left my pocketbook at the
Yeah,
room, so he came to
something.
get it.
Yeah.
And that's how we.
But it's just funny. You have to say it. It's funny how God puts people in your lives for reasons. I mean, you came into the wellness center. We became really good. We spend holidays together. We know each other's families. And that's a gift from God.
Yeah.
You don't do that with everybody. You don't.
No.
It's just,
No.
we connected. I would say immediately we connected.
Oh,
Immediately. And even like we're friends, like I won't see things with people, but you'd warn me.
right.
Pam, you have a big heart. I don't know about this person.
Yeah.
Watch yourself. Not saying they're
Yes.
bad, but watch yourself.
Yes.
Unlike Sadie, that was different.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, because
Right?
sometimes when you're over here, you can see it differently than when you're in it.
When you're in it,
And
you're blind. You don't.
Like-
You maybe
you're
don't
like
want to see
this.
it.
Don't
Yeah.
do it.
You see it. Yeah. You see what I
Okay,
don't see.
She just came back.
Okay.
I don't see the response.
You don't see the response
That's what she
about
said.
about rebuilding differently.
Yes. You're not supposed to see it.
Oh. Okay. It's okay. All right. So, well, basically, just if you're rebuilding differently, just means you're creating a new journey, a new path for yourself, which is a great thing. Is what you want. You want
I
change.
think she's saying, do you see it as an ending or an opportunity to rebuild? She's saying rebuild differently.
Yeah, but it's still.
That's what she
I think
sees
it's
it
still an
as.
opportunity. I mean, you can look
Right.
at it either way, but I think it's
Right.
it's still an opportunity. You're still changing your life for the better.
Yeah.
Change is always good,
You learn and you rebuild.
and you move
little
on
differently.
a little differently.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, when you rebuild differently, you basically need to change everything.
Everything changes. Everything changes. And it's scary. It's not easy. It's very scary to change. But once you do that first step, you're like, why didn't I do that before? Like when I first did my first episode, I mean, I was so nervous.
I was thinking about that.
So nervous. And now it's my 8th one. I still get nervous too, but the first
Not
one,
like you were.
not like I was.
No, because I was sitting over there and I'm watching, I was like so much more. You were so relaxed.
Yeah.
And just the expression on your face was different.
Yeah.
And even before we started, you weren't,
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely see
You get more and more comfortable. You're getting more comfortable with it. And right. So, yeah. Thank you. Well, thank you for coming on, Cindy Lulu. So excited. We'll be right back after this commercial break. The question you just saw during the break, does it resonate with you? And if the answer is immediate, that's okay. Sit with it after this episode, reflect on it. I created 4 books of 52 motivational axioms and scriptures you can open anytime. And this week's my guest audience will choose a book and the number that will guide us to the message we need. Okay, Cindy, you're going to pick the book. Which one should we choose for this week? Illuminations?
What does it say?
Illuminations? Okay. Robert, what number? 1 to 52.
33.
33. Okay. So this is going to be this week. You're going to take this with you for motivation. Well, this is so good. You can plan your life, but don't be surprised when life plans you. So that's really following suit with what the question was. That's for you, Lana. You see how that works? Isn't that crazy how that works, right? And with that, we close today's chapter, but remember the story doesn't end here. Next week, we turn the page again. Thank you all for watching, for being part of this living book, and thank you, God, for always guiding this journey, opening doors that bring all of us together. I'm truly, truly grateful. And today's message spoke to your heart. Please share it and like this channel. You don't know who may need this, who is going to reach, that really needs to hear the message. So my 5 Ps, let's all do this together. You must know my 5 Ps by now. Path, pray, positive. Cindy's like, power. And my favorite, persevere. And let faith lead the way. Next, we will be joined by my special guest, Angelique, owner and founder of Wellness Done Naturally, located right here in St. James. The podcast only works because of the people behind the scenes. Thank you, Eve and Robert, for showing up each and every single week with me. I'll see you next time.